Okay. Evening, folks. The time now is 2000 hours. It's about just past 8 o'clock, and it's a Wednesday evening, and we're sitting quietly. I've got no agents around, no fur agents. I think, they all hunkered down. I actually haven't even got my sidekick with me this evening. But anyway, be that as it may, what we're going to do this evening, I'm going to do a little vid on how to do tops. Well, my way of doing tops, or tarpaulins, or cargo covers, whatever you want to call them. I know when I was in the military, anyway, the coffee is nice and warm. I hope you guys are all nice and chilled. We had quite a few cold days out here. Anyway, the funny thing is about tarps or tarpaulins in the modern days, they are now more of a sort of a synthetic variety. They're not, back in the day when we were in the army, they were a canvas variety. They were quite heavy, and they always seemed to be a little bit like a bit diesel. Sort of, they had like a oily diesel. I don't know if that's how they were treated. They might have been treated that way. But so I assume, and pictures that I've seen, reference pictures, and they always look heavy from the Second World War. So that's how I tend to make them. I don't have first-hand experience on tops from that period, but I'm assuming that they were heavy and heavy duty, and having that sort of waxy, oily makes them a bit waterproof. So that's how I make mine look. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, you can buy these things once again, which I don't do, of course, and I've found out a way that works for me. You might have a better way. I'm not sure, but anyway, um, what I do is to make the cargo. Obviously, the cargo being, it covers ammo boxes, it can cover stores, drums, whatever the case may be, whatever a tarp is put over. And what the Germans like doing, especially in their forward units, or if they were, now let's take for argument's sake, Rommel, during the Blitzkrieg. He was in charge of the 7th Panzer Division, and that became nicknamed the Ghost Division because he moved so fast. He was often ahead himself with his personal HQ. He was way ahead of his main uh, companies, or battalion. He was ahead of his main forces most of the time, and often he was ahead of the enemy, almost behind the enemy, as it were. So he moved quite swiftly, and yes, in one way he gained a lot of ground, but in a lot of ways, uh, his stores and his goods and his supplies couldn't catch up to him, especially on the drive through to France. So what they did was, instead of putting these stores and things into, let's say, warehouses or undercover, whatever, these tarps came into effect, and they were used quite a lot. Many times they were sandbagged down, or they might have pegged them into the ground, depending. They were also used as lean-tos to cover open-top vehicles. So, like armored APCs, armored personnel carriers. I know when I was in the army, on the border, we often had although we walked a lot, being infantry, the odd times that we would be transported by our personal carriers, they were called biffles. Um, we kept quite a large tarpaulin that could be thrown over the roll bar and would keep you to a large degree dry inside should there be a sudden downpour. So let's get on with it. So what I'm going to do is, I collect all these, let's call them uh, sponge protectors. Now, where I work, these come stuck onto the side of the car doors to protect them when they're being transported. So what I do is, I like to keep them because they can cut quite easily, as I can show you. I can show you down here. Let's have a look at this. Um, if we look down here, they cut quite easily. So all I do is I can cut them with my little, and then I just cut them in half, create odd angles and odd sizes. Now what I do is as well, then I can always cut a bigger one, a more lengthy one. So now what I do then is, you can pack this however you want to make it look like a cargo, so something like that. So what we can do, we'll do something like that that looks like cargo, and what I do is I just glue that together with a bit of wood glue or whatever the case may be. And then what I also like to do, and I'll show you now, let me just get a card out here. I just got these little craft cards that I collect every now and again. Let's just put that over there. And what I do is I mount this on there like that. So now what we'll do, we'll get some wood glue. This is just my cold glue. I can show you here. Just normal, good old-fashioned cold glue. Okay. Some people call it, I don't know if they call it PVA glue or whatever, but I just call it good old-fashioned cold. This stuff is fantastic. Okay. So what we do is now, I'll show you. Just take one of these cards here, put that one there. We'll open this up. Let's just open that up quickly. There we go. There we go. Okay, so what we do here, we'll just lay some glue down there, like that. I'll just spread that out a little bit. So, and guys, let me tell you something. While I'm doing this, I'm using everything that I find or that is fairly cheap, and you can get good results. And if you'll see in the insert, there will be a picture of a tarp that I did for one of my other dyers. You'll see the insert, it'll come up during the video, and that is one I've done. Now you can do whatever you want to do. You can design it, you can fold it. I'm going to show you the material that I use. So that's what I would do there. And then what I do is, we'll just put some wood glue on here. We'll position that, and then we'll position that. You can make anyhow you want to. Okay, and then we can do one across here like this. It can go like that, however you want to. And then maybe what we can do, we can just make an odd one on the side here, like that. Okay, so we can do that like that. Now, what I do is, let's just wipe this off here quickly. I like to use my sucker sticks over. Let's just close that, and we'll wipe that off. Okay, so let's put that one side. Now, so we've got that as it is, right? Now, let's put this one side. Okay. Now we've got that as it is. That doesn't have to dry. Now we've got to set up the actual top, and this is what I use. Quite an interesting thing. Let me just get my box and fix here. Okay, this is what I collect, folks, and I suggest you do the same. Oh wait, hang on. Those are all my. There's another box of ticks down here. This is what I want to show you. So collect all these things, collect all those sponges. They come in handy, they come in different shapes. They are so handy. And you've got the more compressed ones like that. You can collect them. You'll find them all over in packaging, in any packaging. They come into the bigger ones. You even get the round ones like that. So there's stacks of them. You'll get them in any kind of packaging, especially in vehicles. You'll find them in vehicles, and especially on the side of new vehicles, you'll find them. Now what I do is, this is what you need to collect. You see, this is a firmer kind of, call it a tissue paper, okay? This comes out of a shoebox. Or when you buy a pair of shoes, this is normally stuffed inside the shoe. Keep the stuff. It comes in flippin' handy. Okay. You'll get different textures. Now this is a softer one. This is a much softer one. We're going to use this one tonight. Okay. This is a much softer because we're going to try and make a more sturdier top. Okay. So this is one. Then you get the even more flimsy. What this stuff is, this is the paper that dressmakers use that cut the pattern out. Now, my wife does a lot of sewing, and all the offcuts from the patterns I keep. I mean, you can see that stuff. It's fantastic. This makes beautiful tops, especially in convertible vehicles. A lot of the military vehicles in World War II had convertible canvas covers. Now, often the kit supplies you with the canvas cover, and it's like a hard rolled up thing, and it looks terrible. You can make your own. You fold that up, you fold it in, it looks so realistic. Okay, so collect that stuff. Collect it. Any shoes you buy, anybody that you know that buys shoes, collect that stuff. It works fantastically. Okay, now I'm going to show you how this works. Just have a look here. Okay, we're now going to build our top. Just have a look here. Okay, this is how our top's going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a large piece like this, and we're going to work out how this is going to fold over, and like that. Okay, so that's what we do. It folds over like that. Normally what I do is I paint this beforehand, but what we're going to do this evening, we're going to glue it on, and then we're going to paint it afterwards. Okay, that's no problem. So we'll do it like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to cut this out quickly. Let's just use this pair of scissors here. So we'll cut it out. Doesn't have to be all that neat. I'm just cutting out a smaller piece. Let's just go like that. Just have a look here now. Okay, I'm going to cut that out like that. Okay, keep that. Don't throw this away. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get some glue. We're going to mix some glue up with a little bit of water. Okay, so we're going to put some glue in here, like so. There. Let's just wipe that off. Okay, folks. What we're going to do is I'm going to mix this up with water. I'll be back here shortly. Just give me 2 shapes of a duck's tail. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. Right. Let's mix this up quickly. Put that into a nice little liquid there. Just add a little bit more wood glue in there. Because you want it to, it must stick and it must dry properly. Okay, so we'll just do that like that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now we've got our boxes and everything set up. Okay, all the boxes are set up and they're ready to roll. Let's just put our scissors back there. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to take one of our brushes. Okay, and we're going to just brush over the top here with some wood glue, like that, just to get the stick. It is a bit messy, but that's fine, you'll get the effect. I'm going to brush it over the top like that. Brush over the top, cover it nice liberally, like that. Okay, get some on the sides as well, so that that can glue down. Okay, so now what we do is we get our top on and we start forming it, guys. So now you must get it in, and remember these tops were heavy, they weren't very light. Okay, they were quite heavy, and one steering, but we'll fix that up. And what we do is we wet it down with a bit of wood glue like that. Okay, wet it down. You can see it's already starting to get it. We've got a bit of a tear there, but that's fine, we'll sort that out. That's easy, you just got to be gentle with it. Okay, you got to get that in there, get that nice and gentle. Okay, smooth that in. You just push it down, get it nice and in like that. Now what we're going to do here, where it's torn like that, you got to be gentle. We'll just put another piece over that and cover that. That's quite easy. See, you get this all in. You want it to fold like that because that's how it lies when it gets covered and the cargo gets covered. So then you just want to put it in gently like that. You just keep it. Now we've got two tears. Okay, so this is where we take another little piece. We just tear a piece off. Okay, you're not going to see it. So you fold, you almost bandage it in there. Okay, and then you just like that. You see that? You see that? You see that? Okay, and that'll just blend into the original top, and you won't even see the difference. Now you've got quite a few folds in there, which is quite nice. And you want a little bit of a stretch where it pulls down on the corners, which is fine. So now our top is taking shape. Okay, so now what we're going to do, just bear with me, we're just going to take another piece here and we're going to mold this. We're going to cover up this patch, we're going to blend this, we're going to bandage this boy up here. So we'll blend him over there, and that just disappears like that. And you'll see now how we're going to get this. This will have to dry, obviously. So we just gently get that in there, and as I said, you're starting to see the shape of the top already. Okay, the cover. Okay, and what we're going to do, these edges over here, we'll cut that off square. We'll cut that off square. So you're using the little card at the bottom as a base. So we're going to glue that all on the base, and we use the base as our guide to make the top square. Okay, so that top is now covering our cargo, guys. There we go. Have a look at that. Okay, it's a little bit wet now, so what we're going to do is you just got to make sure you're getting it looking like a top. Okay, so if you have a look here, we're sitting a bit thin here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a piece here and we're just going to mold that in there like that. Now bearing in mind you can buy these things, so, but who wants to buy it? This is a lot more fun, and this looks just as realistic, if not better, than the real thing. Okay, so you just make sure you blend that in there, and then once you paint it, it'll look like one top. Nobody's going to know that you have fixed it up and bandaged it like that. See, look at that. Okay, look at that, and that's folded over. Okay guys, so there we are. Now that's your top. Okay, that now has to dry. Okay, that's got to dry, and it must dry 110%. So once it dries, it gets quite firm. So what I want to do is I just want to just a little bit more wood glue around here, so that we can cut off, and then we can paint that. We'll cut that off there, neaten it up and style it. So there you've got a beautiful, let me just fix it up there. You've got a really great cargo setup with cargo that's been covered. It could be anything. It could be food stores, it could be supplies, it could be ammo boxes, anything. But there it is. Okay folks, so that's a little bit on how to do a top. Short video tonight, and then we haven't forgotten about the strap for the MP40, by the way. We'll get back to that, and of course we still got to finish off um, the Hauptmann's map case, but we'll get to that. I thought I'd just do this tonight. I actually needed to make another one, and I saw my other one that had come out, and so I thought I'd just do a short vid, show you how to do a top. It's nice. It really sets off a diorama. When you finish it off, it really does set it off. So we're going to let that dry now, and then and possibly tomorrow night when we come out, it's dry, then we'll do the first coat. I'll show you how to do the painting. We'll do the painting, and after that we'll do a bit of shading, dry brushing, and we'll really bring out the feature of the actual top and the cargo net. Okay folks, thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and please share. Thank you very much. Cheers.